Welcome to the Beanz podcast. I got Wrath, Poetic, Proffit here. I got Twitch MC. So finally got the homies together. It's been a minute. The whole point of this podcast was to talk music and to let you guys get to know the local artists in town. So these two motherfuckers are important people in the music industry in Spokane, Washington, I'd have to say. Especially because I know that Wrath is one of the hardest working MCs, constantly recording. I mean, we just did a music video, which both of you were in.
Yeah, just always building, man.
Always building.
That's the goal.
And I know Twitch, man. I know you from way back. I mean, we've done shows together at the Hop and at Car's Corner. We've, been in mutual contact with a different producer like Mark Rand.
Shout out Man With No Name.
Man With No Name. Hey, why don't we should give a shout out to these guys right here.
Pit Lock.
Yeah.
On the bitch.
You'll definitely catch their commercials time to time on my podcast and stuff. I know that they got new. I actually was checking out the website the other day. They got some dope ass hoodies and shirts and shit.
Yeah.
I had the question I was like, did a local guy do this? This is pretty fucking awesome and solid website. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, pitlocksupply.com
Yep.
for all your clothing and music needs. Hit them up. Purchase your things, man. We got all kinds of stuff. Something for everybody.
Yeah. Literally, I like that the local artists have really branched out with their promotional materials, and things are becoming more people are starting to see what trends are fitting, and they're not just making some crazy ass graffiti stuff that you would never wear. People are actually making products that you can buy and everybody can relate with. It's really awesome.
It's worth it. Yeah.
I fucking make my own hoodies and hats too. It's definitely something that I think this next year and from now on is going to be more prevalent. People are going to be
I'm going to be doing some Twitch MC merch here soon.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm excited to see what comes out, man.
Hell yeah. I mean, as far as Pitlock Supply goes, it's, shout out to Colt Drain. That's the dude that runs it, started up, everything. He's trying to hit it at different angles. So,
Word up, homie.
That's why, there's going to be something for everybody. And if there's not now, there will be. So,
absolutely. I mean, every day I'm working towards, linking with people and seeing what they got and trying to get it out there so that, their audience can be a lot bigger. I'm trying to make sure that everybody has triple digits and things are starting to, because the more you steamroll that, it's not necessarily pyramid, it's just building your business. It's things start building and building, you put back into your craft. I know I do a lot. Always putting a little bit extra effort, trying to make sure that it's smooth and coming out that people actually want to listen to it or see it.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing too, locally, not a lot of people, not taken away from anybody, but not a lot of people have done big things. Not a lot of people are out there, you know what I'm saying? Including me, you, whatever. But the thing is, as long as we're trying to bring it up, hit it from these angles, it's it's like a stem cell.
Yeah.
In Spokane, right?
Yeah.
It's a stem cell. It could still be imprinted and be better than what, you know what I'm saying? So we can just put it out there like that. Just, so if we all work together and get everything going in accord for everybody to grow, then it can be something that we could actually, get on the map with.
Exactly.
This,
we don't have to be the second biggest city in Washington. Right. We can be known for our own thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And if that's local hip hop, local music, I'm fucking all for that. I know we got better food than Seattle. No.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I love Seattle, bro.
But for the price?
Yeah, but I mean the food is great. Hey, did you know? Okay, I was in Seattle, and man, I didn't have enough time, but they have a whole shop just for sake. I forget what it was called.
Really?
For sake. And they got baskets, the real baskets, $150, real exotic.
They got the whole spread with the little pouring pitcher and everything.
Yeah, you could pay and then you could go in there and they have like sake tasting nights.
Yes.
And so you could just go in there and just, you know, try all these different types and shit. And then
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, dude. I've always wanted to do it. I've never. But yeah, when I think of Seattle, that's what I think of right now because I love sake. I want to try that.
I'm a huge Seahawks fan, so I had to go there to watch a game. And one thing that I'll remember about the food there is I had to go to Benihana's because like some of the best hip hop artists that I've ever listened to give shout outs to Benihana's all the fucking time. So I was like, well, that's the hip hop spot I'm going to is Benihana's. I got all the Seahawks posters everywhere up in there, and you know, I'm just like digging it. It's a cool vibe, but like when they sit you down at a community table and they have you eat with everybody, it can get really uncomfortable. Like, I'm sure you've watched movies like, you know, where, you know, the couple's there and they're fighting and like things like that. Well, I sat next to a couple that was doing that. It was like the dude was obviously had never been to a expensive restaurant, had no idea how to handle himself, but he had money. And he was just like asking the cook, to, you know, because they're cooking it right in front of you, flipping it, doing spatula tricks, you know, chopping eggs and shit, and it was fucking incredible. But this dude's over here like asking the guy to do like throw shit at his girlfriend and like doing weird shit, and you could just tell that this chick just shut down. She was not about that life. No, and then you got to sit the whole meal with that. And I was like, well, this is what I signed up for. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really make a prejudgment, but you know, if she was just dating a dude for his money, then hey, there you go.
You should have been there, Raph. You could have swooped up. It could have been an opportunity.
Hey.
But hey, you know what? Why don't we tell people a little bit about you guys? I know that I've been promoting a lot of Wrath in his musical ventures lately. We've done 2 music videos. I mean, we got tracks that we're definitely going to be worked on. Things will be happening.
Yeah.
But Twitch, why don't you tell people a little bit about your past, how you got into music?
Well, first of all, my name is Twitch MC. I got into music when I was like, hip hop when I was like 18.
Really?
Started rapping and writing, like freestyling here and there, and then I started writing. And then, like around 21, I got my first CD done.
Nice.
And then, like, ever since then, I've been doing, like, collabs with people and stuff. Like, trying to stay relevant. I got another CD out, or coming out here soon. I got one more song.
Who was the first person that, like, recorded you? Or helped you record?
Mark Rand.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
so you were... Okay, so you were already linked up with somebody that was well-established in music.
Well, I think... There was another dude, like, I recorded a few songs with, but we really didn't do much with.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first projects never really pan out the way you expect them.
But I've been working with Mark since, I think since I was, like, 21, yeah.
How old are you now?
30.
Really? Okay. So, yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's almost a decade.
Yeah,
that's a
like
good
7
resume.
Years, yeah.
I know that shit for a long time there. It was like there wasn't a show that I didn't see you at.
Yeah,
like
for real.
Well, I mean, me and my partner Kilo, we had done shows.
Even if I wasn't doing shows, at shows.
Exactly. Like the fact that you support your local artists was like one of the first things that I learned about you. Like. You were one of the first people that was in the front row of my very first couple shows.
Yep. I remember those shows.
Yeah, and I was like, well, if this guy can at least get down on my music, then I didn't come here for no reason.
No, that's just dope. I remember the first time I saw you guys. I was like, damn, these dudes are dope. I'm embodied organic.
Yeah, we liked it. We didn't know what the fuck we were getting into. We just wanted an original. We wanted the original name, and we just wanted people to have fun at our show. And that's really what it's always been that way. Mm-hmm. We've never done a low-key show. It's always been amped.
My goal at every show is always to, like, at least have one track where everybody's just into it, you know, like,
Yeah, exactly. Like you got to bring
there, you know,
crowd
like
participation.
Crowd, yeah. Where they're like feeling you, you know, rocking with you and stuff. Where they, like you feel it on stage, and it makes you just want to spit your shit even harder.
Yeah.
I want to ask you though, how did you come up with that name, Embodied Organics? Because that shit is dope.
Okay, so
super dope. Man.
We were actually.
That's why I loved you guys. I was like, dude, this is so
we
sick.
sat there and we were just like, okay, we need a name. It has to be original for the first point.
Yeah.
And we just started like brainstorming. Nothing was really solid. There was not like an Embodied Organic prequel name. There was no prequel to that. We sat there for a good hour or two smoking weed and eventually we were like, well, I was like thinking to myself, embodied. I was like, I want to embody this music. I want to embody it. And then I was like, well, we're like organic materials, like organic weed, organic people, like everything, like life. Life is organic. And it just kind of came out. And like we were both just like, well, we can't argue that this is a dope name. And so we were like, fuck it, Google it. Fucking Googled it. Nothing. Not even like half of a name. No one was even close. And we're like, yep.
Oh yeah.
We want to hit a market that no one has yet. So we found one. We just, it was 2 hours of smoking weed. That was it.
Right.
Our whole first album was just us sitting in my room, in my studio, before anything was super big. I had not even been back I moved back home after being with roommates, and I'd only been home for a couple months, and me and Kilo had only met up because of another musical friend of ours. And I was like, well, you should come over and hang out. We pretty much do the same thing. And he was like, all right. And we just sat there for probably 6 months straight, just writing every day. We'd bounce ideas off of each other, and he would write the choruses, and I would like come up with like a verse. It was just writing, rapping, recording, getting it out, like redoing it, and then we were done. And we were just like, dude, this is what we want to do.
That's what's up. Yeah.
And I really just like...
And I like what you guys do.
I bought the equipment because I'm a tech dude. Like, I understand the equipment side of things. So I was like, I want to buy some nice equipment. When I record music, I want to at least know I'm doing it on something that is worth doing it on.
Yeah, that's going to make it sound worthy.
Yeah, you want some worthy quality. Yeah.
It took me years to figure out how to get the right sound, though.
Right.
Like, leveling every piece of equipment out and testing it. And now it's like second nature now.
Yeah.
Now that's why I do video now. It's like another venture. Yeah. Something new to learn.
I mean, the dirty shit too is also, like, I mean, look at Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they did it dirty, but at the same time it was all mastered with, it sounded good. Like nobody's clipping, nobody this, that.
Yeah.
It sounds dirty, but it sounds good.
Yeah. What I mean? Well, that was the thing about New York rap.
Dirty. I mean, I guess
it was dirty. It was gritty.
It was gritty.
It was like some basement. It was like some basement shit that. Yeah, it was like some basement shit, but it bumped. It wasn't clipping. It wasn't fucking your stereo system up. But it sounded like it was out of a basement, and it still just was.
It was a different vibe than the West Coast stuff. The West Coast stuff really was derived in dance party music.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was more fun.
Right.
And like that shit, I don't knock any day, but I'm like, you're from the Bay Area.
Right.
And like, even your sound is more New York than Bay.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, because my flow patterns are Bay, but I keep it lyrical.
You do.
And also, you can't say that lyrical shit is not Bay Area.
Fair enough.
Because even though, like, and I got love for all the gangster shit and everything, all the G-Funk and the mob music and everything like that. I love that shit.
Yeah.
But there's always also been an element of boom bap in the West Coast.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go to San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
You got Bored Stiff. That's where Equipto is from and all that, right? You got Bored Stiff. You got everything in that, right? You go to Oakland, you got Hieroglyphics.
Yeah,
right?
Hieroglyphics.
Dell and everybody got Hieroglyphics. And you go to LA, you got fucking Freestyle Fellowship.
Yeah.
And you got Far Side and stuff like that.
You could
right?
go up to Portland even with Grinch and
Yeah,
Like,
Portland. They got
the Sand People.
the Sand People.
Yeah.
So it's like hip hop has always still been on the West Coast, just because the funky gangster shit was popular.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that's all that was there.
Oh, fair enough.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Oh, like the Freestyle Fellowship, especially. Like, what was it, Micah 5 or Micah 9 or some of their more popular MCs that were in that group were just fucking phenomenal lyricists.
Right.
Like, I don't remember where Supernatural comes from, but I know that they're on the level of
Well,
that.
Supernat's not from that group, but like he's
on that level though.
No, yeah. No, like he's fucking incredible. You could put like anything in front of that dude and he'll rap about it.
Yeah.
And make it dope.
But all those guys,
you know what I'm saying?
Like even Hieroglyphics and like Deltron, like those cats could
Pep
do
Love,
that.
fucking Casual, Souls of Mischief, all that shit. Yeah, man.
But then you also, being from the Bay, how were you influenced by like the Thiz movement in like Mac Dre and? You know.
I like Mac Dre, bro. Mac Dre was dope. I felt like when the Thiz movement took over the Bay, that it kind of overshadowed everything else.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing wrong with the Thiz. Like, the Thiz movement was cool for what it was, but it just overshadowed everything else. So it made people think, oh, that's the only thing they're doing out there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Did they have like a clash with the hyphy movement with like E40 and them? Because that's almost the same.
The hyphy
style.
movement is the Thiz movement.
It's the
same thing.
Is it?
It's the same fucking
thing.
It's
considered the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. E40, Mac Dre set it off, and then he passed, and then everybody going on the hyphy shit.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So
hyphy's kind of like a post.
But hyphy was actually invented by, as far as I know, from what I've heard and shit, was invented by Keep the Sneak from 3 Times Crazy.
Okay,
so he said his mom. He said
Sneak.
He said his mom used to say he was hyphy when he was being hyper when he was a little kid. So he's the one that put that term out there.
Yeah.
And then culturally in the Bay, the style grew, and then it became like that's what that was called.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it had its own like.
And that's just party music. That's party shit. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with partying and having a good time, you know? But that doesn't mean that's the only thing that was in the area.
They still had the grit. They still had gritty stuff. You're right.
Yeah. But I mean, like, mob music changed to hyphy. Mob music was the Bay Area version of as soon as more digital beats started being used, and it was like funky digital gangster shit. That's what like the mob music was.
Okay.
You know, and that came out. So L.A. had G-Funk. Yeah. The Bay had mob music.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
A little bit different, a little bit more gang oriented, would you say?
Oh yeah. It was gangster shit. Yeah, but then, like I say, you still had the hip hoppy type shit out too. You still had Bored Stiff. You still had even Andre Nicotina. He was dabbling in.
He was borderline in a lot.
Yeah, like he's gangsta. He's boom bap. He's
kind of
hyphy, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that makes sense.
He has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That's what makes a good artist, though, is being able to transcend all those genres from your area.
Right, and he can touch all that, just like E40. Like E40 and Nicotina, bro, they're both like they could touch every area and be cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even Equipto, man, Equipto touched every area, but you know, Equipto's heart is in the hip hop boom bap shit. Yeah. But he fucking expanded out from that and did whatever he did. So
what about Too Short too?
And that's just Bay. That's the Bay because the Bay has every element. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bay has every fucking element from everywhere. Influence. I mean, you got influence from everywhere in the Bay.
Levitate down in my mind. Speak to the skies when I meditate. They speak in the lies to make them seem heavyweight. But anyway, many days scribing rhymes to commemorate in the city where they ventilate flesh.
I want to give a special thanks to Twitch MC and Wrath Poetic Proffit here for joining me on the Beanz podcast. We are in the second half after the refill.
Yeah.
Cheers
Get
to the
down.
refill.
Salute.
Alright, well, fellas, after some debate, we were kind of discussing how we were going to end the second half of the podcast because we had to go through the introductory. We got to let everybody know what you guys are about. We got a little political. We got a little bit of everything. I wanted to get a little bit coverage about MF Doom because I feel like as an MC, as a hip-hop, I wouldn't say connoisseur, but I would say that I do indulge in the finer things in hip-hop. But I must say that it was really sad to hear that it's almost like losing Black Panther.
Right.
It's like the same kind of feeling.
Hip-hop-wise,
Like hip-hop-wise, it kind of feels the same way. I mean, I feel like
the whole hip-hop monarchy type of thing, you know, underground artists who fucking shine through.
So if I could have you guys all hold a drink up, I'm just going to say that...
Doom!
Doom. I'm going to say Doom. We're good with that. All right.
Capital. Doom.
Do you guys have a favorite...
And just as respect for Doom, like, just to show respect, he is the one that bridged comic book shit to hip-hop in the way he did it.
He really
that
did.
whole aspect
Like,
of his type of hip-hop was...
Yeah, like he was very different, very fucking what do you say, abstract.
Yeah.
Very artistic.
Very artistic. And he just he embodied that whole shit. He connected hip hop, he connected comic books, and that's the thing that's already been around.
It was like
that hip hop and comics connect. He was just the dude to like actually do that shit.
No,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
He was his own like real life character, and that was
right.
The persona of hip hop is really what you get from that. Like that's something that every MC
you see the mask, and you know
who
that's him.
That's
exactly.
Unless it's Most Def at a surprise show.
Yeah.
Whoa,
you know what I'm saying?
that one time.
And
No,
you might get Most Def.
No, you might get another dude. You know, you never knew, man. He kept it as a fucking. It was a mystery, man. That's his whole thing. He was a mystery. He was a comic book MC mystery.
You never
bro.
really knew what was behind the mask.
There was something about that type of hip hop that I really enjoyed when I
lyrics were
right.
When I first got into hip hop. One thing about I was actually, and I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna have to say it right out the gate because it wouldn't be fair unless I said it. I was not an MF Doom fan. The only reason is because I never had those songs. Like, when I latch on to artists, I like to basically judge them on how many songs I enjoy by them.
Right.
And it wasn't that I didn't enjoy MF Doom. I appreciated MF Doom. But there was artists that had songs that stood out to me in the same genre that really took me to different areas that I appreciate more. And I have to give shout-outs to people like Dr. Octagon with Blue Flowers.
I didn't really like MF Doom until I like actually listened to like full songs.
Well, but the thing
of his music.
Okay, so this is
like
the thing.
he was super lyrical. Like,
he was very lyrical.
Story.
Like had rhyme patterns. He was very abstract. But the thing is like
it was like reading a book.
It depends on what you look for in
at you
rap.
You know?
What are you looking for in rap? Like, if you're looking for somebody that's doing some choppy flows or some impressive rhyme patterns or this or that, if you want somebody to be dynamic with their style, you're not going to like MF Doom. But, because he was chill. He was rapping from his throat.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just depends on what you look for in rap. I appreciate a lot of different kinds. I appreciate very vocal stuff. I've, like, calm, you know, like Nas, MF Doom. I like fucking DMX. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just.
I'm glad you brought up that though, because DMX in the same aspect, I am actually not a Nas fan either because of his vocal delivery. But
He's a throat rapper.
In the same aspect,
He's calm.
I can definitely say
It's
that I
very
am
chill, laid back.
100% a DMX fan.
Okay.
Because
He's hype. He's like, ah!
he's got a good voice,
Yeah.
but
Wait a who?
100% the real reason that I enjoy DMX is because I'm a poet.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you ever go watch DMX do Def Poetry Jam, it will change your idea.
I know what you're talking about. I know you're talking about it's the what
How
the
can you
industry
say that,
wants.
though?
Yeah.
How can you say
Yeah.
I saw that?
Yeah,
How can you
I
say
saw that.
about
I saw that.
Nas, though?
Yeah.
Nas is super
Because he
poetry-like.
wants somebody that's more dynamic vocally.
vocally.
There's nothing wrong with that. I love Nas. I like,
Nas
you know
is
what I'm saying?
His
like,
message
That shit
I
is
enjoy.
hella poetic.
Just the same reason I don't like old school hip hop as much as I like certain artists that I enjoy now. Like,
But that makes sense because
Yeah.
old school hip hop was more simple lyrically.
but they still had a message, and that's what I liked about
Are
it.
you talking about old school being the late 80s?
I'm talking about like Grandmaster Flash, like the
Right.
message,
Right.
like
That's the 70s. Okay.
What
I'm
about,
talking
like,
about-
That's the old school.
What
I'm
about
talking
that?
about. I have that on vinyl.
No, that
Have
shit
that
was
shit
more
on
simple.
vinyl.
Even up until Run DMC, it was more simple, and they fucking grew with
What about
rap
Rakim
as it grew.
and shit?
Rakim.
Okay, so Rakim was one of the first dudes to really.
With the whole
He was one of the first dudes to make shit lyrical. He rapped
Cool
like
G
a
rap.
horn stab.
Yeah.
He
Cool
rapped
G
like
rap.
a horn stab. Cool G rap rhymed with fucking rhyme patterns that complemented each other. There was all these things, these different progressions in lyricalness.
It was
So-
their own style.
Okay,
Every
so now
artist-
you're talking about that. That's the late 80s.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
dudes are the late 80s. That's just around the same time NWA came out.
Yes.
And
Yes.
NWA was rapping from that perspective, like challenging authority and bringing shit back. You know what I'm saying? And then, but
But
that's
they were learning from the MC styles that were the cool G.
They
raps.
were, yeah.
And,
I saw this thing with Dr.
Grandmaster
Dre. It was
Flash.
like Dr. Dre and it was somebody else. I read this article. It was Dr. Dre, somebody. And it was back when they were doing the glittery suit DJ shit.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Okay,
When
so-
DJ Yellow was
Yeah,
really
DJ
getting it.
Yella, all that, right? But then
Yeah.
it was in that era, but they had this tour that was called, it was something like bringing the Bronx to the West Coast or Bronx.
I know what you're talking about.
It was
yeah.
like this old show they did back in the 80s, right?
Did
And
that,
so it
did
was
that
all
involve
the Bronx.
KRS-One at all?
I'm not quite sure.
I
it,
feel
it was
like
it was all Bronx shit.
Boogie Down
It could have
Productions
been.
had something
It
to
could
do
have
with
been.
that.
It could have been pre KRS, but I don't know. I don't remember. And I love KRS. That's the thing. I love KRS. So you think I would have remembered something, and I could be wrong. But either way, it was a Bronx invasion.
Yeah.
That's what it was. The Bronx invasion.
Into the
And they
into
came
the
out
West
to the
Coast.
West in the 80s, and they did a show, and Dr. Dre was at that show. So it made Dr. Dre take his perspective elsewhere from where it was, because he was doing that disco party shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, absolutely.
So then he's seen the real fucking essence of hip hop in that show. And then what comes out after that? NWA. So then I'm not trying to discredit the West Coast, because the West Coast always had dope MCs and dope people. I'm from the West Coast. This is the West Coast. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying though, like
Yeah.
everything art spreads. Cultures, like different cultures of music and everything like that, everything spreads and everybody gets on, and that's why there's so many different styles of rap. And that's why you got South rap and East rap and West rap and Midwest rap and new school rap and old school rap and all
Well,
that.
nowadays
You know what I'm saying?
it's about really establishing your voice in the city that you're from. I really feel that way. That is my concept with bringing artists together from different areas, is because I do believe that we're all on the same path.
Right.
We are absolutely writing music to write for hip hop in a culture that we support, and I believe that if we can branch everybody together, if we can get everybody to rap on a not necessarily. I'm not saying that business level we should all be doing this shit for free. We should all be definitely making money.
Hey, there should be love and there should be money.
Exactly.
Like, if you respect someone's skills and you feel like if your skills conjoined will make something dope that you want to put out to the world, then you should always do that.
Yeah.
But if you're not feeling the dude, like, there's no rules saying, like, bro, you have to work with somebody. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we should all be trying to make shit grow. So if you feel like if that dude ain't going to take you where you're trying to go, and if that dude is going to kind of be more like in your realm, then do that. Or whatever. You know, you just got to fucking go with the flow and figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, you know, you got to fuck with people that's still going to influence you to be an artist. If anybody takes you out of your artistry, you don't want them on your team.
You don't want them on your
You
team.
don't want them on your team at all.
I've met a lot of artists along the way that are very personal, very on their own game, and I'm okay with that. But you have to understand at a certain aspect, we are all in this together.
Hey, rap is a hustle, right? Rap is a hustle, but rap is also a culture. Hip-hop is a culture. You have to uphold the culture. You can do your hustle. There's nothing wrong with your hustle. Everybody needs a hustle. But everybody needs to hold up the culture because guess what? The culture as a whole represents more than you.
It does. 100%.
So you need to hold up the culture.
Exactly.
And that's what the whole thing's about.
That's why we're all here today.
So it's not about hate. You know, you could do whatever lane you do, take whatever lane you do, but you always got to hold up the culture. Don't ever disrespect what built this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? What built whatever we all do.
Don't
built
go
this
against
thing.
the foundation of what is.
Right.
No.
You got to respect the fucking founders, the foundations, everything, and then build your art. You could do whatever you want, like, as far as music goes, but you can't fucking discredit the shit that built why we're here.
Dude, you could literally tie this back to the reason why The Mandalorian and why Lucasfilms and Disney have partnered together to do great things upon themselves in the culture of Star Wars. I don't mean to geek out on you, but I mean to relate it to the same aspect. We are all here because we all enjoy the culture of hip-hop.
Right.
We all do different things. Twitch is a fucking amazing MC. Lyrical, very lyrical.
Thank you.
He's if anything, one thing I've learned about this guy is he definitely boasts about how much he is willing to jump on a track with somebody. Lots of features. Wrath. Dude, this dude is willing to be down in the nitty gritty. We're fucking down in downtown Spokane fucking filming music videos with all sorts of fucking shitty ass shit happening all around us, and we're still getting shit done. I mean, people like Miss Crucial fucking doing shit with us. I mean, Mark from Alienated Records is all like in Pitlock. Fucking, can we give another shout out to Pitlock? Pitlock. These are local artists that we're talking about, that we're trying to get you guys associated with so that you can understand that we're all out here doing what you would love to be doing. We're all out here supporting music, supporting our culture, supporting our business. This is local business at its finest.
Right.
This is real people.
Real people doing real things.
Creating
Yes.
something out of nothing.
Well, and then all of us working together, like, that's the thing. If we're not putting in as
If
a
nobody,
unit,
Yeah.
like,
If nobody's working together, nothing's happening.
You doing one thing, you doing something else, that's not benefiting everybody, you know?
Now, I could do this on my own. I don't have to have anybody here. But the fact
But
that
if
I
we
bring
do-
you guys in, I bring you guys in for a reason, because I don't think that my own opinion is worth a damn. I think that your guys' opinion is really what drives the force behind hip-hop.
Okay, you know what?
In
Your
general.
opinion is worth a damn, and
Hella.
all of our opinions
Hella.
are worth a damn, and we are the voice of hip-hop. We all are in the culture to some extent, each of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we embody different aspects of it.
We're all
Absolutely.
We're
We
like-
all have different connections.
Each of us, we
Yeah,
do
but
it all
we-
different. Like,
we all
if you
do-
listen to his
we all
music, you
do
listen
the
to my
same
music,
thing,
you listen
but
to
we
his
do
music.
different shit.
It's different.
Like
Yeah.
But it's hip-hop.
It transcends the.
Well, look at it this way. We
What
all
I
we
do
all know
and
people.
what you do and what he does. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're all hip hop, but we all have our own message.
Yeah.
And
Twitch,
each
you're
individual,
Yeah.
we have. That's 3 different styles, but fuck, that's great music.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that next time you just need to jump on our track because Twitch MC, Wrath Poetic Proffit, and Bueno Garcia jumped on the track together.
No.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
Fuck
saying
that,
that.
but we're gonna have to do that.
I'm saying that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But we're incorporating all of Spokane. Not just Alienated Records, not just Pitlock, not just all these great artists that I know of, like The Solution and Cordell
Yeah.
Drake and everybody that I can even imagine, Islo Mattis, fucking all these cats like Cody, all these cats. Dude, Peasy, fucking people. I could name a million fucking.
Yeah.
All day.
All day.
TJ Regalado, fucking all these fucking people that I absolutely think that have made music. Pest the Menace. I can't. Spindle. Word One. Fucking all
Yeah.
these fucking like. Tell me who you grew up with.
Pest and Spindle actually taught me how to rap and put me on the whole Spokane music scene.
Yeah.
And then from there, like, I started working with Mark
Yeah.
and a few other people.
Who have you done the track with?
Word One was my shit, though.
Word One was it? Raph?
Blaine and Spindle were my homies.
Raph, who did you work with when
when
you came into Spokane? Who would you vouch for that you'd be like, these are cats that you need to check out?
Okay, well, when I got to Spokane, I'm from the Bay Area, so I was on some Bay shit. And when I got here, it was a lot different for me. It was like a culture shock, But I had influences from everywhere, so I didn't sound like your typical Bay dude, right? Like,
No,
I listen to everybody
yeah.
from the Bay to the East Coast to LA to the South to Midwest, whatever. So I had influences from everywhere. And so I wasn't trying to be like typical of what was expected of me. I was trying to be everything that I took in, but as my own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure. So who would you vouch for? Who would you say that
Whoever
Spokane
took me to where who I met and who I did things.
Spokane wise. We're talking
Yeah.
like Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, that's like, okay, I met Knothead.
Knothead. Fucking Knothead.
Okay.
I played
Knothead.
disc
Shout
golf with Knothead.
Yeah.
Knothead.
I played disc golf with Knothead too.
Love
Yeah.
And his wife. Shout outs to Knothead and his wife.
His
Annie.
wife is dope.
Dope ass people.
Can I
But
shout
no.
out to Kaga?
Yeah,
Kaga!
I'm
Kaga!
good.
Him and his girl back in the
I
day
did my
were
first
very
show at
supportive.
Kaga's
Very
house.
supportive. So
My very first show was at Kaga's house.
yeah, fuck yeah. Who else?
Fucking Mark, dude. Mark showed up
Yeah.
and did all the sound
Mark
and everything.
ran, yeah.
Mark
Like,
has been the most
A lot of those
solid
shows,
dude.
Man with
a
no
lot of
name.
those old school shows would have never happened if Mark wasn't there hooking up the sound and being the sound man.
And I hope
And he was one of the main dudes.
Right.
He was one of the main dudes in town that
Period.
connected metal and rap.
rap.
Knothead and Mark ran.
Knothead,
Those men
yeah.
with no name.
Knothead.
Those
Those
motherfuckers.
dudes, yeah.
Because back then, rap and metal did not mesh. And those two motherfuckers made it mesh. So now we got more cultures expanding and this and that, and boom, 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 because of those dudes.
I agree
So,
with that
yeah.
wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
We have
Those
people
guys
coming together from multiple genres.
I wouldn't even be in the rap game if it wasn't for Mark because 100% he's the only dude that would give us shows. He was willing to say, hey, sell tickets, do your own thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you can show up,
just do your
bring
job,
people,
sell ticket. Then
bring
that's
people.
literally all it was people selling tickets.
And that's what it's about. That's
Like,
local hip-hop
do your
right
job,
there.
sell your tickets.
And that's what we're all here for. We're actually, just trying to support local hip-hop and get our music together. We're all willing to collaborate, willing to get together and make that extra effort.
Yeah, we can do whatever, man. Hey, you know what? The thing is like every area has a sound.
It
right?
does.
And there's certain areas that try to copy the nearest area's sound.
But we don't.
Spokane does not do that. Like, Spokane is a city where you have every sound. It's just not established like that. So it's open. You could mesh anything. We could all
we're diverse.
We could all make some
abstract hip hop. This is
we could all
really
make them
abstract hip hop.
And I'm not trying to boast for Spokane like it's the next greatest place on earth or nothing. I'm just saying though, there's no.
Thank you. I thank you for that though, because you're making a good point. To people that are listening and to anybody that is down for hip hop and know that where we're coming from, the fact is we don't make hip hop for a certain genre, for a certain type of people. We make hip hop for as many people as we possibly can.
Yeah. No, it's
all about reaching
like the people that are gonna listen. Like, does it? It vibes with you. Does it vibe with you? Do you feel that when we're spitting? It's.
I'm very lyrical when I write, man.
Like, we're not just sitting here writing songs just for ourselves. Like,
no,
I want to make myself happy with this song. No, it's like there's somebody out there listening, and that it's hitting with somebody.
Exactly.
Right.
Like those people out there.
Look, no, I'll say this though. Like,
do that shit.
I will say there's a lot of songs that I write for myself. But the thing is it's coming from the culture.
There is.
It's based in the culture, like the culture of hip hop that we grew up on, that we took, that we internalized.
But that's
you know what I'm saying? It's based
like
in hip hop.
That's
like
a novelty track, like I vibe with this.
No, it's just like the real personal.
But if it hits with the crowd,
the real personal tracks, you're doing for yourself.
But
and that's the type of shit that's gonna touch somebody's heart, right? But then there's so many other lanes because you got the heart, the brain, the soul. You could hit any aspect.
But when it hits with the crowd, though, it's like it makes it.
That's a different level.
That much more.
Right.
That's a different level. Totally.
That's the show. And you could write a track for the show. You could sit down in a studio and be like, I'm writing this track so it'll be hype at a show.
Oh, and I've done that. I've done that a million times.
And then you can sit down and you can be like, I'm writing
this is going to be super hype. For
Or then you can sit down and be like, I'm writing a track for, I'm going through some personal shit. I need to get some shit out.
Something off.
Now you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Or you could be on some mental shit and you could be like, okay, I'm going to hit them with some jabs from over here, over there. And this is going to be like the mental smart, you know what I'm saying? Can you catch on to this type of shit?
Yeah.
So it's like you can do any of those things. You can touch the soul, you can touch the mind.
Hip-hop is a very broad area that we can
And I'm down with all of it because every area is important.
And that's what brings us all together. We come from different backgrounds, but we are all on the same level.
Yeah. And you can't ever support the one lane rapper.
No. We got to come together and at least end this podcast on a unison note that we are all together. This is a game that we played together. And this is a team game.
As artists, none of us are going to make it anywhere if we don't
support each other.
I'm pushing you, you're pushing me, he's pushing him, he's pushing me, I'm pushing someone else.
Yep.
We all have to be pushing. Yeah.
It's a synergy,
It does not matter if it's me or you or this guy or that guy.
And
we all
cheer-
have to be, you know.
The Beanz podcast would like to cheers to all of you for joining us together. We discussed some topics that we really wanted to get out there, and I'm glad to have Twitch MC, Wrath Poetic Proffit. Thank you, motherfuckers, for coming to join us. This is the Beanz podcast.
Thank you guys for support.
Spokane hip hop, motherfuckers.
Local music all the way.